Hey John, Ami here. So I'm going to do my test now. I'm going to do it in several parts. So I wrote down the elements of the test, and there's just one thing I was not sure about is the Taoist breathing, because I don't remember reading that, and I went back through the breathing exercises, and so I believe what you might be referring to as Taoist breathing is the reverse breathing. So I'll show that. Anyhow, I'll show you first the abdominal breathing. So that's just simply, abdominal breathing is just allowing the belly to expand and contract instead of breathing with the chest. So I'll show you that. Hopefully you can see. That's the abdominal breathing. I did take singing lessons years ago, so I was very familiar with this type of breathing, and I find it's very helpful. I have asthma, so breathing with the belly is really important. With asthma, sometimes the chest gets tight, so I really, it's good to come back to it and practice it more. And I can't wait to get back to the release the power of your breath, because I was finding that really helpful. For a lot of things, and I've been dealing with some breathing problems. The Taoist breathing, so I think you're referring to the reverse breathing, which is when you're using the ribs instead of the belly, and the belly stays stationary, and using the intercostal muscles to expand the rib cage and breathe this way out through the ribs in the back. Does take a lot more energy to do this, but there are benefits, and it allows for larger breathing capacity. And then also, I believe when doing some fighting movements, you want to breathe with your chest, so that you can keep your core engaged to protect your lower back and all that kind of stuff, and your organs. Although I don't fight. Might be interested in Kung Fu though. So here's the reverse breathing, which I think is what you're calling Taoist breathing. If it's not, please clarify, and I'll do another video for you. So reverse breathing simply is just breathing with the chest. So I'll do that for you. Not sure if you can see that. Anyways, I am breathing with the chest. I don't know if you can see that. Not sure how to make that so you can see it. very challenging to do actually for me because I'm so used to breathing with the belly for singing and just in general. Accentuated natural breathing. This is a really interesting breath. On a side note, I find a lot of tension when I do that other breathing, the reverse breathing. So it's good though because I need to loosen up my ribs. So accentuated natural breathing is when breathe in. So let me get this right. So breathe in with the belly first, and then you bring it in, and then you continue breathing in with the chest comes out, and then when you breathe out, the chest comes in, the belly comes out, and then the belly comes back in. So it's like a wave kind of thing, so it goes out, in, out, in, out, in. So I'll try to demonstrate. Like I said, I'm not sure how well you can see this here, but so like this. So actually, you can see that one. So maybe I need to practice breathing exercises more because I noticed my chest was not moving a lot. So maybe give your feedback on that if you think I should change anything or do anything differently. I'm just going to do the stances here right now as and the energy awareness exercise, and then I'm going to probably stop and do 12 rows. So the horse stance is, so the warm-up would be just to do some bouncing like this, and the idea is to get as low as possible. So if I'm going to do this for 2 minutes, I got to be a reasonable height. And then the arms are just in here, relaxed, shoulders back, head back, and just holding the stance here like this. I'll just count maybe, 20 breaths. Legs are on fire, John. So that's the horse stance. Maybe I need to do more horse stance because it's challenging for me. And I will. I really like it. I really find it helps with my posture. One thing, you'd said, I think, is that the lower back should be tilted in. I don't do that just because I have a disc problem. So I bulged a disc. I have sciatica issues still. It's pretty good, but still giving me some hip problems lately. So I don't do that. However, I will kind of talk about it and teach it when I have classes. Whatever works best for people. I understand that it, to make sure that the energy can flow easier. A little out of breath. So next is bow stance. And this is kind of like Warrior 2 in yoga. So very, very similar. The only difference is instead of going this way, the back leg's straight on a bit of an angle. Front leg is, hopefully it's close to 90 degrees, but that really depends on the flexibility and the skill level of the practitioner. Hips in this are actually straight forward instead of in Warrior when they're facing to the side. So the hips are straight forward and just like this. I'm going to do both sides so that I get balanced here. So I'll do 10 breaths per side. That's one side, and then of course you always have to balance out. So next side, again, back leg straight, hips facing the front, trying to get as close to 90 degrees here. I can't do that right now, but I'll work on it. Let's do 10 more here. So that's the bow stance. Really good for stretching out the psoas muscle here and also strengthening hamstring and quads and hips. Last one you wanted me to do was the iron cross. So this one I love because I have some shoulder problems because I broke a couple bones in my back here. The two what are they called? Transverse process, T1 and 2, snapped 2 of those off and they just healed, snapped off. So I have a lot of issues I gotta deal with. So iron cross is great for me. So it's just simply like this. Legs bent. Ideally, I think the lower back should be tilted in, but I don't do that because I need to protect my lower back. So I'll do 10 breaths here for you. That was 10 breaths. I also do it like this sometimes. I don't know if it's called that, but I call it holding the sun. And I find this really helpful because, as you can imagine, it gets pretty tight up in here because things aren't quite aligned properly anymore. And so I'll do this one sometimes. And I find that one really helpful for me too. But this one's great because it really gets the shoulders strengthened, and I need that. And I think, I taught a yoga class here, and I ended up teaching Qigong. And I found people can't do this. People can't keep their hands up for any length of time. It's unbelievable, even young people. So, I really think these kind of exercises are going to really help a lot of people. It's just amazing. Someone was here that was in their 20s, I think, or maybe like early 30s, and they couldn't do this for more than a few seconds. It's unbelievable. So that's the 3 stances, which we also use in standing Qigong, and I like to do that. So energy awareness exercises, well, there was a couple, but so the one, of course, is kind of obvious, pressing on the logong points, and then, just feeling the energy in between the hands, breathing into the hands, seeing if there's anything there, feeling as though there's like a sponge in between the hands. And I like to do that, and then also alternate between feeling like there's a little ball in between the hands, and do that. And then, so there's that. There's also forming a ball, feeling the ball in between the hands, and forming the ball, keeping the palms facing each other and rotating slowly, and then growing the ball. And I like to, for me, when I feel it, I have to kind of keep re-gripping the ball in a way. I don't know if that makes sense, but sometimes I'll lose the sensation of the energy or the magnetism, so I kind of just keep re-gripping it. For some reason, that allows me to feel it again, or feel it more. So, and then continuing with the ball a little bigger. And then I like to do this exercise I learned from a Qigong DVD, and that's like this, while feeling the ball. A little more challenging because we're creating some movement, and the attention goes other places. So it's really important to bring the attention back to the hands and always try to keep them facing each other. The other energy awareness exercise, I remember there's 4 of them. I'm going to be reviewing all this stuff ongoingly. The other one was, pushing against a wall, and as though there's energy. This one's really interesting. So, and then just feeling the energy of the wall and pushing back with your energy field. I can't remember the other one offhand. I think it was 4, but I'm going to review them. Like I said, I'm going to review everything. And then I might as well just do the 12 rivers for you. I was going to stop, but I'll just go. And I'm going to review the meridians because I need to review them a little bit more. I was reviewing them every day with my practice, but as I've told you, I've gone through some things here, so my practice hasn't been as steady as it should be. But I've been getting it back together, so I appreciate your patience with that. So 12 rivers. Here we go. Maybe I'll just make this one long video. So standing together first. This one's called Dragon Clears a Path. So we inhale here. exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, back down and around, inhale and exhale. This one's called bending the body and swinging the head, inhaling around, pressing into the hands, pressing up, exhaling, inhaling back again this way, sorry. Exhaling. And then hands come together, inhaling. This is called one arm raising. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. I think I may have done the order wrong. Crane looks behind. So that's inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling to center. Inhaling back. Exhaling. Inhaling and letting go. Next is Black Tiger stretches his back. So that's inhaling down. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Oh, sorry. For now we're doing Wild Goose stretches his wings. Inhaling. Exhaling. Feel the heart. Inhaling. Exhaling, punching the wind. Small intestine. And this one, inhaling and then exhaling. Inhaling. And we'll do man riding horse, uses bow and arrow to shoot eagle, which I would never do. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And now we're going to do turning and gazing. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Releasing back here. Two hands press the sky. Inhaling. Exhaling. You can see. Inhaling. Continuing the exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. And then then we have Black Tiger stretches his back. The other one's called Black Tiger stretches his waist. I'm sorry. So inhaling, exhaling. Exhaling all the way over for the gallbladder. I really like this one. Inhaling, exhaling, looking behind to the side, inhaling, and then we're going to do the 4 body movements for the liver. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, continuing the exhale, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, continuing the exhale, inhaling, and now back to dragon clears the path, closing, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, and exhaling. And closing. So I might end the video here. Okay, actually I'll continue. So show typical posture for one emotion. So show you the same one we just did, which is dragon clears the path. This is for grief and worry. So grief, when you're sad, you're like depressed, your arms are in here, kind of like hunched in, and the lung meridian goes from here all the way down to the thumb on the inside, on both sides. So in order to counteract that, we need to do an exercise that expands open and stretches the arms. So we do dragon clears the path. It opens up and then stretches the arms, opens up the lung meridian here and the shoulder, and then also releases back and through. So the thing I like about this is kind of like you're almost moving through poor posture and the good posture, so it's like a real neutralizing thing. So that's for the that's for grief. Path of the heart meridian. I need to look at these, but I'm gonna remember from memory. It's from under here, and then the inside of the finger, inside here, and the inside of the finger, little finger. It's one of the two. I have my book right here. Let me just double check. I think this is okay. It's an open book. Yeah, inside of the little finger. Okay, good. Woo! Memory. Bladder meridian. This one's a little tricky to show you. How can I show you the bladder meridian? It goes from here up, down the back of the head, and then it splits into 2 on each side, and then comes down the back of the legs, and so it comes down and then joins into one on the back of the legs, and then comes down here, and then on the outside of the baby toe. I need to practice this, John, and I'm going to. I need to review a little bit. I should have, but I'm just, yeah, and I was right again. Woohoo! outside of the little toe. See, pretty good, eh? I did my practice. Okay, so from the top, I didn't actually look at this before I did this. So it goes above the eye, yeah, just like I said. So above the eye, comes back over the top, over the back of the neck, splits into two, so there's actually four. And it comes down, there's a little kind of zigzag here, but then it comes down the back, and then out, and then around to the outside of the little toe. The exercise for the bladder was this one, was the black tiger stretches its waist. So that initiates the pulling here on the top of the head, all the way down the back, and through there, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I am going to review. Okay, so what do we got left here? Almost done. Between heaven and earth 3 times each. And it's a freestyle. I'm going to do this all in one video, and then I'm going to review the heaven and earth to make sure I don't miss one. I don't think I will, but so I'm doing this all in one go. I wasn't going to do this, John, but so between heaven and earth, the warm-up exercises. I'm going to start here doing some rotations, and then the opposite way. Okay, and then some joint circling. This I really like. And then around the other way. This is really helpful for me. I've actually been doing this as well. Kind of like pushing out at the same time. Next, more joint circling. I don't know if you wanted to warm up, but I'm giving it to you. And I actually usually do this a little bit slower, and then I'll breathe in on the way up and breathe out on the way down, and following the hand, of course. Hopefully this video is not too long. I make YouTube videos talking about meditation and different things in health, which I haven't been for a long time, and I tend to go quite long. Okay, next side. Maybe you can play this in fast speed. I'll spare you too many rotations here. But maybe you enjoy watching the test. I'm sure you probably do. You're very passionate about it. And then next we're going to do some waist circling. This one's really helpful for me because this side of the body gets really tight with the disc issues, so I have to keep stretching it, otherwise it just keeps crunching my disc and it causes a lot of pain. So I'll tend to work this side a little bit more. And then there's the knee rotations. However, I must say I did watch a Qigong video of this woman. She said this is not a good thing for the knees because the joints go this way, not around. But I don't do it as much, but still do it. Ankle rotations. This one, I showed this in a class. I know I wasn't supposed to start teaching it yet, but I did show it in a class a while ago. I haven't taught it for a long time, and it's really interesting to see how difficult this is for people to do a full circle. So very good to teach. Next side. I'm just kind of talking through it like I would maybe a little bit in a class. And then finally, we're going to do Actually, there's one more thing, but we're gonna do some neck rotations. I would do more normally, but and then there's the turn here. I like to bend a bit. And then just kind of stand, focus on the abdominal breathing for a little bit. And the first exercise, activating the center. Just going to do some slow rotations with intention and breathing, trying to feel the energy inside the lower dantian, located 3 fingertips, 3 finger widths below the belly button, the navel, and inside the body. I think it's supposed to only do 3 each side. And then next, after activating the center, hopefully feeling something there, heat, warmth, tingling. We're going to do expanding the center, inhaling, exhaling, looking to both palms, to each palm, inhaling, expanding from the lower dantian with intention. Looking up and down, inhaling to center, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling. Not sure if those 2 or 3, forget sometimes. Inhaling, switching sides, exhaling. Exhaling out and away from the body. Inhaling towards the body. Exhaling. Inhaling. And then to the sides. In the video, you kind of did this one time, and I really like doing that, the movement, instead of just staying to the side. Next side. So now we've activated the center, we've expanded the center to reach the entire body, top to bottom, sides, front and back. And now we're going to activate the microcosmic orbit, the belt meridian or the girdle meridian. So we're going to inhale around, exhale, as though we're wrapping cloth around us, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling, pausing here, inhaling, and then exhaling the other way, inhaling, wrapping around, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling. Releasing, exhaling. So that's a microcosmic orbit going around the waist, supporting the organs, joints, and spine. Now we're going to do the microcosmic orbit, which is going around this way. I believe it's called the governing meridian and the central meridian. And so we inhale, tracing up from the perineum all the way up the back of the spine, up over the head to stop at the top, at the upper lip, and then continue down, all the way down the front, and to reach the perineum again. So we start inhaling intentionally up, keeping your awareness moving up the back, and then we'll switch around the other way. So inhaling up, over the head, and coming down. Inhaling up. And then switching directions with intention and movement. Inhaling up the body, up over the head, and down the back, down the spine. Inhaling up. Last time. And now that we've done that, I'm going to do roots and branches. So that these are extraordinary meridians running up the legs, all the way up the body, out the arms, and the top of the head. So we're going to do 3 of these. So starting with the hands, I'll step back a little bit, with the hands above the head, and then we're going to do some squats, intentionally bringing the energy down the backs of the hands, down the back of the arm, down the backs of the legs. Inhaling, backs, and then exhaling up the front, the insides and the front of the arms. And then we'll switch around the intention and the direction, although visually it looks the same. This one really, really helpful. So inhaling, the intention down the back of the arms, down the backs of the legs and the outside. Exhaling up the inside and the front of the legs, up the front of the body, up the front and inside of the arms, up the top of the head. Inhaling down. Exhaling up. Inhaling down. Exhaling up. Now inhaling down the front. Exhaling up the back. Inhaling down the front. Exhaling up the back. Outside and backs of the hands and arms. Inhaling one more time. And exhaling. And then relaxing here. 2 more exercises. This one's called spiraling. So we're going to do the same thing as the warm-up exercise, but this time we're going to spiral both directions. And then imagine there's a vortex of energy. We're sucking up from the earth, the yin energy from the earth, up the leg, into the body, healing, relaxing, purifying, and cleansing the body. So, doing several spirals on each side, in each direction. Imagining the spiraling energy and feeling and inviting it and pulling it up the leg. Switching around the other direction. And then we're going to do some spirals at the hips, sending the energy up the legs, up the center of the body, up from the earth. As though you're stirring a pool of water, and instead of the water going down, it's coming up. Whirlpool, spiraling energy up through the body. And around the other direction. And then we're going to take our hand up, spiral energy all the way up the leg, all the way up the body, all the way up the arm, and out from the earth, purifying, cleansing, regenerating, rejuvenating. Now the other direction. Other hand. Other direction. And now finally that was spiraling. And now we're going to do connecting heaven and earth. So we simply put our hands up to the sky. The other spiraling can be done in a downward direction as well, starting up with the hands. And then finally, I forgot, we have to do the head, very slight movements, getting ahead of myself a little bit. And then this is just pulling up the energy all the way up through the body, into the body, out the top of the head. Very, very slight movements, and then around the other direction. And then connecting heaven and earth, part 1. We're going to just stand here and breathing in the energy all the way down the hands, top of the head, through the body, into the ground. Any negative energy, dirty energy, stagnant energy into the earth, but also cleansing and refilling and recharging the body with the heavenly yang qi. Inhaling the energy down through the body. Into the face, down the neck, down the torso, through the hips, through the legs, and out the feet. And then using the intention to switch directions internally and inhaling up this time, through the legs, through the hips, through the torso, through the neck, up through the arms, out through the head and the face. Drawing energy up from the earth, cleansing. And then relaxing. Bringing the hands to the belly once more, doing a few circles, do our cool down exercise. And then circling, massaging kidneys. And then do some tapping, knocking. Down, backs of the legs, up the front. The inside of the arms, the outside of the arms, over the shoulder, across the heart, other side, inside of the arms, palm, outside of the hand, outside of the arms, over the shoulder, across the heart, gently on the neck and face, over the head, down the back, and then now the outside. Focusing on any areas that are tight, you feel you need to loosen, breaking up, spreading the energy out throughout the body. And ending here, just focusing on feeling the energy that we've stimulated for a few moments. And then cleansing the energy field, breathing into the lower dantian, filling up the lower dantian. And then expanding bright white golden light into any area of the body or the energy field you feel is stuck, that needs cleansing. And if there is no area that you can feel, just expanding, sending out this new fresh energy, this cleansing Qi to all directions of the body and just purifying, cleansing, and regenerating the body from within. And then last on the list here was some freestyle Qigong. So freestyle Qigong, I like to start with those 3 to 5 minutes. I know this video might be getting long, I'm not sure. But I like to start, with the order that I learned to enter the flow in. So. And this is lifting and pouring. Now I'll do some stirring the mist. Some swimming dragon. And then we'll do some what's this called again? Empty and full. I just like doing the basics of this, and I do some freestyle as well. But then this is really helpful getting back to the basics for me. And forming the ball. Now I'll get into some freestyle for a few minutes here. Try not to go off camera. You're asking a lot, John. I'm just kidding. I really like forming the ball and moving it around. And then I like to pour the ball into my body and just receive that chi, that energy. Finally, kicks. And I like to do this Tai Chi move that I learned. It's like I like to do this as part of my freestyle Qigong. Anyhow, I think that should do it. If you need anything else, you let me know. Oh, an hour and 3 minutes, a little bit long. But anyways, John, I really appreciate doing these courses, and I know it took me a long time, but I'm going to get more regular with my practice, and I think the benefit's amazing. I feel a lot better just having done this, even though I taught it. And it's not as, concentrated as I would get when I'm just doing the practice by myself. Still a great benefit, sort of kind of half teaching it to you, I guess. So let me know if you need anything else from me, and we can set up our interview on Skype. And thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.